Hey, eighth graders. Let's take a closer look. We are still in the process of working on our scale of the solar system activity. Earlier in the class period, I had you guys draw a scale, or what you felt to be a scale drawing of the solar system, on the side of your sentence strips that has the dotted lines on it. So what we're going to do on the other side, I'm going to have you flip this over. And on the other side, we are going to use that and try and make what is a little bit more accurate scale drawing of the solar system. Not to say that your drawing was not accurate, because I haven't seen your drawings yet, but this one is a little bit more scaled, and it gives you a pretty good idea of the distances between the planets within our solar system. This is just kind of a quick and easy way to do it. So before we start, we need to give this some context. So what I want you to do is on the very left-hand side of your sentence strip, I want you to go ahead and, using a ruler, I want you to measure from the end about 1 millimeter. And then I want you just to draw a line. Okay, and that line is going to represent the boundary of the sun. And you can just write sun right in there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's where the sun is in relation to the rest of our solar system. Okay, so that you know, if we're looking at the solar system, we're essentially looking at this in profile, and that profile says that that is the sun right there. So we're going to put that down. Your sentence strip's down in front of you. Your left hand is on the sun side, and your right hand is on the sort of end of the solar system side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and establish our first planet. So what we want to start by doing is simply folding our sentence strip so that it's pretty much entirely in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Sharpie to kind of make a nice distinctive crease there like so. All right, and I've essentially just folded this in half. And now I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I have a nice crease right down the middle. Now what I want to do, I want to go ahead and draw a line there. So I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to put it right along that fold, and I'm going to draw a line with a pencil. Now for the sake of being able to see this a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and cover this with marker so that you can see it, but I want you using pencil on your sentence strips. Okay, so there's my big dark line right there. And what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to go ahead and label this line Uranus. So somewhere really close to that line, you're going to label that Uranus. And again, I'm using dark marker so it's easy to see, but I would really like it if you were using pencil in this case. All right, now, so we've just established that where Uranus is. That gives us a point of perspective. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up our next planet. And we're going to do that by taking the right end of our sentence strip. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold it over so it meets the line of Uranus. So we're taking half and essentially folding it in half, just like we're doing right here. Again, I'm going to crease it really good. I'm going to open it up like I did before. And again, I've got this nice crease here right now. Now I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a nice straight line right there. And again, in order to help you to see it a little bit better, I'll draw that line nice and dark. Again, I want you doing it in pencil. So there's my second line. I'm going to go ahead and label this as the planet Neptune. And again, I want you doing this in pencil. I'm going to do it in marker so that's a little easier to see. So right now, you guys, what I've done is I've sort of established the distance between Uranus and Neptune. Okay? And if you want to, you can take a quick look and peek over and see how that compares to where you put Uranus and Neptune. Don't change it. Yes, there's no right or wrong on this. Just leave it the way it is on your side of the scale model. All right, so now let's work on the other side. So we just folded one half into another half. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This time I'm going to take that left-hand side of my hand. I'm going to go ahead and meet that up with the Uranus line on the other side. And again, I'm going to work to get a nice crease in that, folding it one more time, like so. And again, I've got a nice crease right here in the middle. I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to go ahead and draw a nice straight line with my pencil. And again, for the sake of visibility, I'm going to go ahead and top that off with some nice black marker. So what I've done here, you guys, I've established my line for the planet Saturn. So I'm going to go ahead and write right underneath that, Saturn. So I can look at my sentence strip now, and I can look at what is a pretty good model of the distance between Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. All right, now let's go ahead and work within this half right here. So I've got this line between Saturn and the Sun. And guess what I'm going to do again? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold that yet again. This time I'm going to take the left-hand side. I'm going to match it up with the line for Saturn. I'm going to go ahead and fold that. Again, my folding gets a little more difficult here, but it's not too bad. Again, I'm going to use my marker to make a nice crease. I open it up. I've got a lovely crease right there. And that crease is now going to be, I'm going to make my nice dark line right where the fold is, making it with pencil first, then making it with my marker so you can see it really easily. And that becomes the planet Jupiter. So you might be saying to yourself, well, gosh, there's not much room left, because there's the Sun right over here, and now there's Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune all the way out here. So now we got a few more planets to draw. So far what we've been doing is we keep going half, half, half. So we're going to take this left side, this distance between the Sun and Jupiter, and we're going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to take my very left end, I'm going to match it up with a line that's Jupiter, and I'm going to, again, make that nice crease. I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to draw my line with my pencil. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, or a lot darker, I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and label that. Any guesses? Any guesses? That's right. That's going to be the planet Mars. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our line where we have the Sun, and we're going to measure, we're going to take our ruler, we're going to line it up, and we're going to measure about 3 millimeters. Those are the super tiny lines. I'm going to mark a spot there. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line in pencil right there. And I'm going to go grab, I'm actually going to work really hard. I'm going to work with my pencil here. I was going to grab a different marker, one that was a little thinner, but I don't think I have one. So I'm just going to make lots of dark lines with my pencil. And that is Mercury. Okay. Now from that line that marks Mercury, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to set up my ruler, and I'm going to measure about, from that point, I'm going to measure about 4 millimeters. And that is going to mark my line for, again, we're going to make a nice dark line. I just broke my line. That dark line, that's going to represent Venus. From Venus, I'm going to measure up what's going to be about 10 centimeters. I'm sorry, millimeters. I'm going to mark from Venus, I'm going to mark 10 millimeters. I'm going to mark that line. I'm going to mark a nice straight line. I'm going to make it nice and dark with my pencil. And that line is going to become the line for Earth. Okay. So it's a little bit harder to see. I'll bring it up so it's a little bit closer. So as you can see, my first 4 planets, Venus, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are significantly closer together compared to my last 4 planets, which are, once I start getting outside of Mars, I look at the distances between, my first 4 planets versus the distances between my outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So there we go. We just made we'll say a fairly accurate scale model of our solar system. Now what I want you to do is I just kind of want you to flip back and forth and just compare what you see on the scale side, which is what we'll call this, if you want to go ahead and mark this as the scale side. Okay. And just mark the scale side versus your side. Kind of look back and forth and just kind of see what you think. Talk to your table a little bit. Get some thoughts on this. Well done.